What's going on, guys, and welcome to episode number 2 of The Road to the Big Show. I'm Billy Pinckney, and I'm going to hand it over to my co-host Taylor Motter to introduce today's special guest.
What's going on, everyone? Like you said, show number 2 here. We got Rob Kaminsky on, a little bit with the Cardinals, a little bit with the Indians, New Jersey boy who's done it all, seen it all, been around. So let's get into him with Billy starting up our questions. First one's going to go out to me. Give me your favorite minor league stadium and city.
Favorite city, favorite stadium, I'd say Columbus was probably my favorite. It was AAA with Cleveland. I mean, you got good banging food. Like, you get the best food, they say, in the country, believe it or not, which is pretty random for, Midwest to have some of the best sushi and whatnot. But, I mean, you got a nice high street. I'm not sure if you've been there, but I mean, it's a pretty special place. That was definitely my favorite place in the minors. And least favorite, you didn't ask, but probably Clinton, Iowa. Clinton was rough.
Ooh.
Clinton.
Yeah. Columbus is sick.
Columbus is fun. You can get in some trouble there for sure, but it's a good spot.
Toughest hitter faced. I mean, you faced so many great hitters. Who was the toughest one?
I mean, the biggest name would be like Yelich, but I mean, I walked him on, I think, 5 pitches, so it wasn't much of a challenge on my part. But I would say in the minors, it was definitely faced Glaber, Torres a few times. He got me a few times. And in the big leagues, probably Votto, just because he's usually, if you don't swing, it's a ball. And I got him on a 2-2 slider that was like borderline. He actually got tossed afterwards. So that was a cool little cool memory for me.
Love that.
Yeah, it was a close pitch. I'm like, damn, Votto ain't swinging. It's probably a ball, but I took it and ran with it.
Yeah.
Best eyes in the game, and you got to see him leave. So great. Next question: longest road trip that you took?
Oh God, Akron and AA for Cleveland. I think it was 16, 17 hour on one bus to New Hampshire.
Ooh.
Not a sleeper.
That'll put you on your ass real quick for a couple days.
Yeah, that was brutal.
Next one, favorite minor league team to play for?
Favorite minor league team to play for? Probably Columbus. I mean, I had a really good time there. It's a good group of people.
Yeah.
I've been lucky. Like, my whole career, I've had really no, shit teams to play for. I've always had a good affiliate, good group of coaching and players. But not to sound cliche, but I mean, every year's been pretty fun. I mean, you know better. I mean, you know how it is. The minor leagues blows. There's no
always. It never stops.
Yeah, I mean, I've had parts of seven seasons there, between injuries and everything, obviously. But I mean, it ain't glorious by any stretch. It sucks.
By no means, no doubt. All right, next question. Your favorite food to eat? Get off of baseball a little bit. Favorite food?
I love chicken parm. Being from Jersey, we got a lot of Italian guys that know how to cook. Tonight, I'm actually getting sushi. I've been craving sushi, so I'm gonna get some sushi. I'm pretty basic, man. I eat the same 3-4 things every week.
I figured it'd be some Italian, dude.
Yeah, I like Italian. We get once a week. My fiance cooks. I love Chipotle. I eat more Chipotle than anyone you've ever met. Maybe there's a kid on Cleveland, Karinchak, eats Chipotle about 9 times a week. Yeah. He's the only one that's got me beat, though.
Oh, God.
Chipotle's
I made a nice little bowl today from Chipotle, so I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Chipotle is the best.
So easy to get in and get out.
No doubt.
And the last one here, role model. Your role model growing up. Who's the guy that you looked up to?
I can give you, the cliche, my parents, uncles, and all that. But I'm lucky with a really good family and close support group. But player-wise, I love watching Kershaw. My high school mechanics kind of emulated him. I loved Grady Sizemore, believe it or not, growing up. I could not tell you why. I think because he was like a gamer and he just played balls to the wall. But I was 24 I love Grady Sizemore. I love Jeter, obviously, growing up where I grew up. My brother's got some tattoos for Jeter, I think. He loves him that much. But Yeah, I mean, those three, I would say.
Awesome.
I saw something online that said that you were a big Sandy Koufax fan. What do we
Yeah,
got
no,
there?
I'm Jewish, so being a lefty and being Jewish, there's not many great pitchers that are lefty and Jewish. So growing up, I mean, I would hear stories, and my
I
grandpa
was say
loved him. I mean, he's one of the goats, so it's
I saw that, and my best friend growing up in high school was Jewish too, and he was a left-handed pitcher as well. Went to Furman, big Sandy Koufax fan, and then I started looking up some of his numbers and stuff like that. Man, that's a good guy to idolize. That's for damn sure.
He's a baller, man. He's a baller for sure.
Big time, big time. All right, so we're here with Rob Kaminsky from Englewood Cliffs, Jersey, right?
Yeah, Englewood Cliffs. I live in Englewood now, right down the road.
20. Perfect. 26 years old, lefty. We're going to go into a fun fact first that I had also saw. You a little ambidextrous, huh?
Yeah, my mom always said my brain was a little crosswire. I'm a little left up. I throw a football righty, throw a baseball lefty. I dribble righty in basketball, shoot it lefty. So I'm all screwed up. Like if you saw me throw a football lefty, you'd think I'm like I had zero coordination whatsoever. I can throw some darts righty.
That's awesome. That was a fun fact I saw. So then you went to what? St. Joseph's Regional High School, right? Left-handed starter, switch hitter, play center field a little bit. But what I really want to get into is two questions I got for high school. Okay, you went to St. Joseph's Regional. I'm from Florida. When I hear St. whatever, I know it's a small school, not too many, not huge talent pool. And I saw some of these numbers, bro. I don't care who you are. You got some talent. 10-0, 3 no-nos, a .10 in your senior year. I mean, those are some legit numbers. So tell me, are these actual legit numbers, or are we playing some smaller schools? Hit me with the truth.
No, I mean, I went to St. Joe's because they're in a really good league for by me, like Pinckney. You're from Jersey, right?
Yeah.
Where are you from in Jersey?
Little Falls, Passaic Valley High School's the
word. So, yeah, you know the area.
Oh yeah.
St. Joe's is like it's a good. I mean, football is their main sport. Like football, they're like a national program. Baseball is good by us. I mean, it's mostly like the private schools. They're much better than the public schools by us, but
gotcha.
Overall, I mean, the county's pretty good. I mean, it's not. I mean, you're not playing a shit school every week, but you're also not playing a damn a bunch of big leaguers. But I mean, we saw our occasional low 90s guy.
Yeah.
But it was good high school baseball. That's some most fun.
It's funny. It's flip flop down here, man. No doubt. It's so funny. Down here, man, it's flip-flopped. All the public schools that have more kids are dominant until you go down to Miami where all the little tiny private schools are kind of starting to run some stuff. But back in the day, it was the bigger the school, the better the school. So it's just weird for me to see that. But I saw the 10-0 with a 1-0, 3 no-nos, 126 Ks in 64 innings. I mean, that's pretty legit, man. And then I
definitely racked some of those up. I racked some of those strikeouts up midweek or something, Had some stats there against the public schools. But, yeah, it's different It's different in Northeast. Like all the Catholic schools are really good. And, Pinckney, you could talk about it more. It's
No, whenever we played those schools, those private schools, it was just like big time difference, big time.
For sure.
I love it. So then I see that just another I wanted to hit real quick to show everyone that's watching how good of a guy you actually are. You raised over your senior year of high school, you raised $30,000 for some charity, right? For every strikeout, you had some people match it. I mean, there ain't a lot of high schoolers that's doing that kind of stuff, dude. That's kind of impressive to me, honestly.
No, I appreciate that. No, I was very lucky, and my parents instilled, giving back, and then. That was probably their idea. I was 16, 17 at the time, but it was something that was important to my family. My uncles helped out. I grew up really close with my uncles and close-knit family. Still to this day, one of them lives next door to where I grew up. So it's a pretty close-knit group. But that was important to me. That was probably one of the cooler things I've done. And definitely in high school, that was the coolest.
Yeah, I saw that, and I was really excited to do this interview and kind of talk to you about that. Because, like I said, man, it's just shit you don't see nowadays from kids. Even if it was instilled by your parents, good for them. You know, they raised a good kid, and they did it right. I like that example you set. Billy, what do you got to touch on in high school? I know you had something.
Yeah, I mean, as a senior in high school, you have all these opportunities, everything running through your head. How tough was it to manage, your emotions and going through school itself when you have these different opportunities that you could go in one direction or another, whether it's college or pro ball?
Yeah, it was. You depend on people, to give you good advice, and you see this day and age, kind of like you were saying, it's kids get taken advantage of, or kids just have shitty people in their corner, and you don't know that at 16, 17. You just trust whoever you think you're supposed to trust, and sometimes people put their interest before yours. But I was lucky not to have that problem, and I got hooked up with my agent, who's my agent now. I guess he was an advisor. I don't know what the rules were. I think they've changed recently, but so he would help me, navigate that. But like I said, I was lucky to go to a high school that's had, much better athletes than I've ever been. We had the McCourty twins from the Patriots, so there's, people there just used to having a little more publicity than the typical high school senior. So
Right.
I was no, special cat there. So I don't like the attention, to be honest with you. So it was great to have that my senior year.
Yeah, for sure.
I see you were going to UNC, which I guess technically wasn't my rival, but it definitely wasn't a school I liked.
You're a coastal cat,
Carolina,
man.
so we had we had a few regionals up at UNC in my time. So not a big fan, but hey, man, to each his own. Congrats. That would have been an awesome school to go to. You forfeit. You get paid in the first round, 28th overall. You make yours. Good for you, man. Congratulations. I hope you did good with it. Obviously, that 30K that we talked about earlier, I'm sure you're fine with everything that you had. I'm sure you're a smart kid, it sounds like. And I'm happy for you. I'm glad you got to experience that. The question I want to know on that, 1.7 back in, oh God, what year was that? 2013 it was?
2013, yeah, 2013.
So tell me that when you look at it as a high school kid, you get 1.7, right? 1.8, whatever it was. Is that life-changing money for that, or was school a legit option to go to? Be honest. Let them all hear it, right?
I mean, to be honest with you, I was never, too interested in going to college, just because I'm not I wouldn't call myself a book nerd and going to UNC. UNC was sick though. Like when I visited the official, and they have a really good Northeast connection. Yeah, they have a lot of Northeast people. It's kind of strange. A lot of New Jersey guys.
Yep.
But, no, I mean, once I got drafted, where
so
it
was never an option.
No, it wasn't much of an option, to be completely, honest with you. And I was honest with the coaches. I told the North Carolina guys the same thing. The night of the draft, I called them and say, like, it's probably not going to work out. I appreciate everything. And if I ever come back, hopefully I don't need to come back for a degree. But they were awesome. They were super supportive, and I mean they're used to guys doing stuff like that. It's a great program. So you went to Coastal, huh? You know Tommy LaStella?
No doubt.
Bro, his brother.
They were up the middle together for 2 years.
His brother's my realtor. He's from Jersey.
Oh, really?
Yeah. LaStella.
He's a character, man.
He just got his money too.
He's a good dude. Hey, you want to talk about a fucked up story? Bro, this story's fucked up, man, about what he went through. I'm tell you what.
Yeah, he went AWOL, man.
2 days away from being – bro, he was – before that, in college, he was like 2 days away from being done with baseball. It was crazy. Crazy.
Really? He went to my high school.
Yeah, that's another story. Congratulations. Did he?
Yeah, Tommy, he was like 5, 6 years older than me, but he was like one of those, like, he's like a legend by us.
Yeah, you know what? Great dude. I'm happy to see my boy get paid. Like I said, from other interviews I've done, I'm all for the guys getting paid. So to see guys make money and keep playing, dude, I'm all for it. I love it.
No
Great
doubt.
dude. Congratulations. I'm happy for him. So we go into the draft. You forfeit UNC. We're real happy moving forward, right? We're Gatorade Player of the Year in high school. Everything's going high. We're good. We're great, right? Boom, draft night comes. Sign. We're done. Go to GCL. Tell me your first experiences. Ain't glorious by any means.
GCL, man, there's not many places like that on earth. You're playing noon games in 107-degree heat, humid as hell, trying to get it in before the 3 o'clock rain comes. Charting. It was,
Oh, yeah.
looking back on it, it was a dope experience. But during it, I'm like, damn, this is pro ball, bro. Like, I thought I was going to Bush. Like, jeez. It's a whirlwind. I mean, that was the first time I
You'd
ever
much
lived.
rather be at UNC in Chapel Hill enjoying.
Hey, I was calling the coach and seeing if I'm still eligible. But no, it all worked out. I met some good people there, man. I met some good people, so I was lucky.
Good.
And the Cardinals,
so you were actually
no complaints.
You were actually in Palm Beach, where I'm from, and I had this written off on the side here. Actually, I wanted to ask you, and Billy, you can chime in about GCL and all that stuff in 1 second. But did you ever go to CR Chicks when you were in Palm Beach?
CR Chicks? No, was it a bar or something?
Oh, no, man. It's like this little restaurant. It's only in Palm Beach called CR Chicks. They got this little pasta dish. I thought it would be right up your alley.
How the hell has no one told me about that? I spent like 4
it.
or 5 springs there.
Oh, man. I'm going to tell you what. It's more like a locals thing. There was only one. Now they got a couple. But, man, I'm going to tell you what, one of the best pasta chicken dishes I've ever had in my life. Me and my wife try and make it here. We don't even come close.
For real. I got to check it out, man. I love that area. Palm Beach is beautiful. Where do you live?
So we live right on Donald Ross right there, Abacoa. You go right under 95 Bridge over the Turnpike, and we live back in there. It's where my parents live.
Oh, beautiful, man.
Yeah, it was great growing up. You know? So we go to GCL. We got 8 games. Starter. You have a 3-6. Come back for spring training the next year. We head off to beautiful Peoria. So who was your manager in Peoria?
Peoria, my manager was that was my first like real taste of pro ball, like, traveling and like, you know, in the GCL you don't even like stay over. It's kind of like high school baseball, just much more talented and like you ain't the man there. And longer ass days. But my manager in Peoria was Joe Cruz.
That's right. Okay. Did you ever run across Johnny Rodriguez over there?
No, he was State College, so he was rookie ball that year, and I was lucky enough to go to. I was in extended for a month, which is not the place you want to be ever. But I was there because I kind of sucked in it.
I spent a month there a couple years ago.
Yeah, you don't want to stay there, man. I guess it's good. Like as a younger guy, it was good when I was there, but now it's. But no, I went there May 1st, I think, or something. And
well, shit, I was 29.
That's tough, man.
I was 29 with Detroit. I had 3 years in the show already, and they said, "Look, we're going to need you to go to extended." I said, "Fuck."
What was it? For at bats or what?
No, so I was with Minnesota the year before. I changed agents, didn't have any heat coming on me. I went to a little tryout in Detroit, and they were like, "Look, we're going to keep you around and extended. That way, if you need to go to the big leagues, we'll just send you right up to the big leagues." Well, shit, that never happened. I went right to Double-A for a month, back to extended, back to Double-A, back to extended. Yeah, we were getting paid, but at the end of the day, I was like, I can't keep doing all this traveling, packing up, leaving. I got a family, you know what I mean? I'm like, shit.
I feel you, man. I feel you there.
So you have a great year in Peoria with a 1.8 ERA, feeling like your nuts are hanging on the floor. You have to be. just feeling like the man. Your first year, you're shoving it up people's asses, you know? Then we go from 2000 to 2015. You start the season in Palm Beach where you were. Spring training, obviously everyone knows that. You know, go to high A there. But then a whirlwind happens. You get traded to the Indians. Were you expecting it? Were you not expecting it?
No, man. Trades are something you read about in like high school. Like, oh, big leaguers get traded. I was damn high A pitcher, coming off a good year, like you said. I was pitching really well in the Florida State League. I mean, if you can't pitch there, you can't pitch anywhere. It's a pitcher's league. I'm sure. You spend any time hitting there? You spend any time hitting in that league?
Oh, I was in Port Charlotte, and it was freaking miserable.
Yeah, dude, you can't pitch in that league. You just turn into spikes. But no, I pitched I think, the day or two prior, and then I was a starter back then. And I think Matt Holliday got hurt like 2 days before the deadline. So everyone's like, oh, man, like they got to make a move. Like they're in a playoff push. Like they need an outfielder. And everyone's like, oh, it's going to be Reyes trade. Like Reyes is like #1 prospect. Alex Reyes, you know, he's the big dog. Like he's throwing 100. He's come out of nowhere pretty much. He's throwing so hard. And I get a call at like midnight on a getaway day on the bus. Hey, like we just traded you to Cleveland. I'm like, oh fuck. All right, like is anybody coming with me? Like, what's the move here? I'm 20 years old, bro. Like, I don't know how this shit works. And they go, no, it's like it's a 1-for-1. Like, you know, pack your stuff. You'll be out of here tomorrow morning. You're meeting their high A team on the road. I'm like, jeez, this blows. I was pissed. I was just getting comfortable, like just making friends, like off the field, like on the field. Who gives a shit? You know, like,
you know what? At 20 years old too. Yeah, no doubt. And at 20 years old too, you're like, how the fuck do I pack up my whole life and figure out where I'm going, what I'm doing? Like, no doubt.
Bro, we were on the road with the Cardinals, and I had to meet the Cleveland team on the road. So it was on the road to on the road. So I had my buddies pack the whole apartment up. I knew like 2 people on the Indians, luckily, so they helped me out. Like when I got there, it was like I was hurt, my back was hurting, so I'm like, oh god, like this is just a fucking recipe for disaster. I went out my first game for Cleveland. I was throwing like 85, 86. You're like, dude, what the fuck did we trade for? And I was like, dude, I can't tie my shoes.
Oh, shit, Vito.
Yeah, they were like, dude, like the medicals were a lot.
So was that was in 2015, right?
Yeah, 15 at the deadline.
But then I saw 2017 you got hurt too, right? Or was it the same shit or different?
2015 was like I missed the last month with like a little just like a little hip back issue. I was good. I had a full normal off season. Came into 17 spring training, like throwing cheese. I was like, damn, this is it. Like, this is my year. You know, prospect list, all that jazz. And then I'm like, I get to my last start against the Brewers in minor league camp, and my elbow feels a little funky. I was still throwing kind of hard. And I'm like, all right, like whatever. I broke with Akron AA. And they kept pushing me back because I had like elbow, like just like not like a pain, just like it didn't feel right. And then I'm like, all right, like fuck this. I'm just gonna pitch. So I pitched like shit, and I'm like in between innings, I couldn't bend my arm. I'm like, this isn't good. And I ended up getting an MRI like, you know, the next day or two. Like, hey, like, you know, you got a sprained UCL, like it's either surgery or you get stem cell. I'm like, what are the odds stem cell works? They go, honestly, like where your tear is and how it's torn, like we've had the best success with it. I'm like, all right, I'll give it a shot. Like, why not? And, you know, to this day, knock on wood, I haven't had any surgeries, nothing. I've had 3 years. Elbow feels great. And I mean, shit saved me. I don't know if it
Someone
actually
knew what they were talking about for once.
Rehab, but stay away from the needle, man.
Hey, I hear that.
Once that gets on the resume, man.
We have a good year in Akron. Yeah. Oh, no doubt. So you go back to Akron Akron 2016, Akron 2017. But then I saw something else too that adds to the crazy story of Rob. You write a book or a memoir or something called Life in the Minors, Working Towards a Dream. Explain what we got going on here.
No, I did a little blogging when it was like 20, when I got traded and stuff, and it had a bunch of traction. So I'm like, I like writing, I like baseball. It's kind of like the only two things like hobby wise. So I said, screw it, I'll start doing a little blog and rehab. I rehabbed my elbow for 6 months in Arizona. I'm like, in the summer. So I'm like, oh man, I'm bored as shit. Like, what am I going to do if I ain't going to the casinos or, getting into trouble? I might as well start using some brain power. So I just started writing up a blog, and then I wrote a couple blogs.
Hey, you said it perfectly right there. You do it in Florida, you're bored as shit. You
and
do it
it's
in
so
Arizona,
hot.
you're
Like,
happy as shit.
people are like, oh, like, go hike or something. I'm like, dude, like you hike once and it's cool. And then it's 130 degrees. Like, you ain't going back.
Especially in the summer, you're miserable.
Summer was rough, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So you're writing this thing. Give me, it's like a little blog type thing.
Yeah, it's just like a little blog. Just write about, either life in the minors or how the trade went down. Anything that's on your mind, really. And people liked it. I haven't done it in like 3 years, maybe 4 years. But I don't know. I feel like everyone's hesitant to do something, kind of like you guys with this podcast. It's like people are hesitant to do something because they're worried it won't gain traction. But it's like, it's just fun to do, and then hopefully it gains traction. If not, then who cares, man? You had some good conversations. You worked on writing and talking, and I don't know. I always respect people that take some chances. So kudos to you guys, man.
I appreciate that, no doubt. I know Billy was huge in it too. He was a big reason why I came over here. But like I just like talking to people and trying to figure out other people's stories, man. At the end of the day, we all got different fucked up stories that we all just want to talk about and show some of these kids who think that being a major leaguer is all glorious, and it is, but the glory doesn't come from just being there. The glory actually comes from the horse shit that you went through when you were in the minor leagues to actually truly, truly, truly be blessed when you get to the big leagues and understand what you went through to get to where you were. So
yeah, no, you couldn't say it any better myself. Makes it all worth it.
So kind of to wrap it up a little bit. I was just gonna say, so you asked for you go free agent, right? In 2018, you were still with Cleveland. Arizona Fall League did well there. 2019 is when you kind of hit Akron Columbus, which is a sick ass place. Then at the end of the season, you're free agent. They didn't sign you back. What happened there?
Yeah, no, it was my first time, being able to elect free agency. I was lucky to, make it my. No, it was good, but not good enough. It's hard to be a minor leaguer for 7 years. Either usually in the big leagues, you're sitting at home. So I was like one of those like floaters. And then I said, let's test the waters. And my agency was great. And the Cardinals called me at midnight of when they're allowed to. So it was like, oh wow, they must really want me, and made a good offer. And then I was lucky they wanted me back, and they were diving deep into my analytics, and they seemed to have a grasp of what I could bring to the table. And I got to debut with them, so I can never say a bad word about either or. I was lucky. I was with two great organizations, and Cleveland. I mean, they're so technologically advanced. It's remarkable. And Cardinals just win, man. Like, you've been around. The Cardinals are just NL powerhouse. It was exciting.
Yeah. It shows me a lot too that when you get traded from a team, you leave for a reason, but to get picked up back by them was kind of impressive to me. Honestly, it does mean you go 1-for-1 to the Indians, which is huge. You're a minor leaguer, you go 1-for-1 for Brandon Moss, who's in the big leagues, and then you get picked up back by him. It's almost like they stole the trade and they liked you as a person, which I can see just doing an interview, which is great. So I'm happy they did that, gave you another chance, and then you get to make your big league debut in 2020 after added to the player pool.
Yeah, no, I was lucky enough to be added to that player pool, and then I was throwing the ball well on the alt side, and they needed arms, so they called like 3 or 4 of us up, and got the debut, and it was a good year for me. I felt good and healthy. Health's always been an issue with me before these last couple of years, so I was lucky. Stayed healthy and figuring some stuff out now, and hopefully sign somewhere soon and get the hell out of New Jersey, man.
That's it. It's way too cold up there, man. You need to get out.
It's been
Billy, you need to
snowing.
get your ass out of there too. I don't know what you're doing up there still.
I'm staring outside. We got a few feet of snow just sitting there, waiting for it to melt. It's unbelievable.
It's unbelievable. I'm lucky. I live in a condo, so I don't have to plow and shit.
Yeah.
But like my parents, I feel bad for them. I'll go there and help out once in a while, but they're getting crushed. Everyone gets fucking. It snows every damn day now. It's the worst winter I've ever seen.
It is. Now, how bad is that for you for training wise? Throwing outside, it's tough. You have to go inside.
Yeah. Throwing outside sucks, and then COVID throws a wrench in everything. And we're trying to be as careful as possible with still getting my work in, obviously. But I'm lucky. I got a place that opens up for me in the morning, and it's just me and the catcher, and then whoever wants to hit live at bats, wear a mask and all that shit. And it's there's a fine line. Like, you got to be a good citizen and try to do your part with stop this virus in its tracks. But you also got to get your work in, and people have to run small businesses and all that. And but I've been lucky. I've got good support system here that that work around me almost, and open up when I need to, and keep it low, keep it not many people in there. So I can't bitch about that. They made it work for me. And I actually made like I said, I live in a condo and it's not very big, my fiance and I. So I actually built a little gym in my mom's garage.
It's good.
I was lucky I did that. Built a little gym and had my guy write my programs, just because it was tough with COVID. You couldn't really go to the gym at first.
Yeah.
Now it's good. So now I get everything I need. But the snow definitely throws more of a wrench in the plan than anything.
Yeah.
Like you said, I haven't been able to long toss in 3 weeks, but figure it out.
Yeah. Gotta love it.
Baseball players were good at doing shit on the fly. That's for damn sure.
You better be able to do that.
All right, so my last thing before we've kind of heard your road to the show and the road to the big leagues, and how you went through AA shit a couple of times. You went back to Lynchburg once. You kind of hit it all, man. You've done everything. You were the best. You were Gatorade Player of the Year in 2012 and 13 in high school. You were the best, and you go down to some minor league shit, and then you finally get to the holy grail, right? We finally get to the big leagues. So give me just a quick description of the phone call you made to your parents. Then I want to know how tight your asshole was when you got to the locker room, and then how even tighter your asshole got when you first stepped on the mound to face your first hitter.
Yeah, no, everyone was like, man, it must have been weird with like no fans. Like, were you not as nervous? I'm like, bro, I was pretty fucking nervous. Like, warming up is the most nervous part as a pitcher. Like, once like, TV timeouts up or whatever, and you get the ball, it's like, all right, it's like feels somewhat normal, like the minor league. But warming up, like, my mind's like, holy fuck, like, it's the damn big leagues, bro. Like, this is sick. So it's like more excitement than nerves. I mean, better than anybody. But like, you kind of shit yourself. But the phone call was cool. I found out in the morning and called my parents, and they cry. I don't know if I cried, to be honest with you, but it's just you feel like you're where you're supposed to be. It just took a long time to get there and do anything to get back. And a lot of people made a lot of sacrifices for me growing up. So it's nice to call them individually and say, thanks, like finally making it to the big leagues, and hopefully it's the start of a long career.
That's the best way to describe that feeling, man. Like you said, it's like you want to cry and express your feelings and shit. You know what? If you do, you do. But then, like, this is what you worked for your whole life. So it's like great to finally see it coming. And the 3 people that spent that time with you, it just makes it so much better when they can be involved.
No doubt.
So who was your first big league at bat against? Break down the game for me. Break down the at bat.
It was like one of those where like I don't know, I think we were kind of like getting blown out. Like, we were down like 7 or 8. So I'm like, all right, like, I got a shot. Like, there was like 3 of us trying to debut. Like, I was there the day before, didn't get in. I think Keuchel pitched and they kind of shut us down. We were in Chicago at the White Sox, and hey, Kaminsky get hot. So I'm like, oh fuck, spraying balls all over the place. And then first guy up was Jose Abreu, I believe. Yeah, because like the first thing I asked him, who's coming up? And it was like 4, 5, 6. I'm all right. Like you think like spring training, like you got like minor leaguers in that late in the game, they're up like 7 or 8. But it was like, no, it's Jose Abreu, Eloy Jimenez, and Edwin Encarnacion. I'm like, all right, like this is sick.
You can't ask for a better top 3 to go in for your debut.
That was sick. Yeah, they were swinging the bat. They're not trying to walk.
Shit.
So I got to roll.
The Cuban Dominican firefighter.
Yeah, exactly. That's what you want, though. It's fun, man. Like something you remember. And I was lucky, got out of it and threw strikes, and I got my first punch out. They say that's like you got to get your first punch out. Just get that out of the way. I got Eloy looking on a backed up.
Who was that against?
Eloy Jimenez on a backed up like terrible curveball. That was the hardest one to hit, right?
No doubt. You know what? If it would have been a good curveball, he would have hit it 700.
He literally like took it because like it did move it in. She's like, oh fuck, it looked like an 85-mile hour fastball right down the ditch. I'm like, oh, thank God he didn't swing that. That would have been trouble.
That's awesome. And that's just a great feeling too. You know, you go up against this rookie who's supposed to be the next coming, which he is. He's a great player. He looks like he's built to do what he's going to do, and just get your first strikeout against someone like that's pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it was cool. Got the ball, and Cardinals did a great job of commemorating everything and sent it home. And it's actually it's in the kitchen right now because we got a damn leak from this fucking snow, man. So we have to move all this.
I'm sitting out here in 72-degree weather with sun. I'm looking at the pool right now. I'm like, man, I better go out and get some sun. I'm whiter and shit.
You work out at Cressy over there?
No, so when I was in Palm Beach, I did, but now I'm in St. Pete, and
got you.
I'm at a different guy's place, which is good. It's been good. We didn't have any shutdown, so I've been working out since I got back from Korea. So
getting back, yeah, Korea was messed up. They listened. It would have been cooler if it wasn't Corona time.
Yeah, you got like good fans. Like I heard it's nuts over there. It's like a
if you get the chance to go over there and roll some picture, I'd be all for it.
Yeah, for sure.
So yeah, I think it's a good atmosphere and get paid.
Exactly, man.
That's it. Awesome. Well, cool. I appreciate you coming on and talking to us, giving us a little breakdown of what it's like to get to the big leagues, and thanks for sitting down with us, man. We really appreciate it.
No doubt, fellas. Best of luck with the podcast. You guys just started up. You said episode 2.
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. Who's the next guest?
It's so tough with spring training right now, man, to get people on. It's freaking damn impossible. I'm reaching out to people I played with for years, and they're like, look, let me get back to you in a couple of weeks. We got spring training. Yeah. I'm like, damn, bro. All right, cool.
Yeah, it's weird with all the protocols. Longer, shorter days, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no doubt.
That's what everyone's saying. You know how spring training is. You take a fucking nap every day when you get home.
The first thing you want to do.
And you go to bed at fucking 8 o'clock.
Yep.
The days are so weirdly early.
It just happens that day. You know what I mean? There ain't no getting used to it. It just happens. It's like, bam, I'm up at 5:30. Oh, shit.
Take a nap at 2 to 4 if you're not in a game, and fall asleep at 8 o'clock after going to Yard House, man.
Yard House, B-dubs, wherever you want, man. Just go get it in you.
For sure, man.
Well, perfect, man. I appreciate it. Billy, you want to take us out?
Awesome. Yeah. Appreciate it, Rob. And we'll see you next time here on the Road to the Big Show.